Hey guys, welcome back to Filter Coffee Football. Here to talk about the Champions League first leg quarterfinals. Spicy results. Three results at the very least. Well, maybe two that we didn't expect, and one result that kind of still is in the balance. But let's start with the easy one. The one that we all expected to kind of be a breeze. Benfica 1, Liverpool 3. Pretty much easy street. If you watch the game, Benfica did have some of their chances. Darwin Nunes got a goal, so Arsenal fans
Striker watch. Striker watch,
might be a little
yes.
excited about that. Although it did kind of come from a Ibrahim Konate error, but otherwise it was a pretty straightforward performance. A 3-1 victory away. No way I see Liverpool dropping that. I mean, the 2-0 was nervy against Inter Milan, which again is a much better team in many respects. What are your opinions on this win?
I don't think Benfica are getting anything from the next leg. Darwin Nunes, yes, he was able to beat Konate quite a lot. I mean, he took Konate for a spin. He even did a number on Van Dijk a couple of times, which was nice to see. I think he's got smartness in using his physicality, but
Yeah,
that
he's
was about it
definitely bigger
for the
than I
bright spot.
expected. He was a lot
Yeah,
bigger than I expected. But
he's
yeah,
quite tall. He's
uh,
quite tall.
speaking as Arsenal fans, though, but yeah, this fixture pretty much seems like in the bag. Salah taken off at 60 minutes because a
It's
really tricky
done.
fixture coming up for them come Sunday. The City versus Liverpool game, another title decider for them. So Liverpool will be really happy with this result. So yeah, let's move on to the next one. Again, the team that they are going to be facing, Manchester City 1, Atletico Madrid nil. Okay, now this is sort of my hot take, right? Everybody applauds Atletico for their, balls to the walls defending, just the deep block, the putting your bodies on the line. And at the same time, this is the same sort of defending that gets criticism when teams like Burnley do it in the Premier League. So just because they're playing at a higher level and have better players, I don't understand the stark difference in the appreciation that they get from pundits, where these are the same pundits that ban other teams, lower leg teams, who have every reason to want to just sit there and wait for a draw.
Hmm. But
That kind of
you've
rattles
got
me a
to
little.
notice, you've got to notice that City have still been able to unlock that defense. It's a 5-5-0, which even KDB mentioned that this is a 5-5-0 lineup, and it was at a point, which makes you question whether they are actually out there to play a game or just rely on counters and vibes.
Yeah, they
But
had like maybe two half decent chances the whole game. They were really not looking like they were trying to score at all. But yeah, please go ahead, finish that point.
City just seem to know how to unlock such defenses. Although they might falter against a side like a Crystal Palace or a Burnley from time to time, but City do know how to get through difficult teams, if not the easier ones.
Yeah, and I mean, again, this game highlights just how far the young kid has come. Phil Foden, massive impact when he came on, led, assisted the goal that Kevin De Bruyne scored eventually. Again, what a fabulous finish! Like the amount of confidence it takes to score from that angle under that kind of pressure is just immense. But Phil Foden, really was able to unlock that Atleti defense more than any other player on the pitch had managed up until that point. So I wouldn't be surprised if Foden gets the nod in that Liverpool game as well, considering his performance. Atleti, I mean, pressure is on them again. They were lucky to come away
They
with
will
a
have to score now.
yes, which is again it's probably what works for City the most. Although I don't see them necessarily um, changing their tactic when it comes to their approach in the game. They'll probably still try and sit deep, still try and wait for a counter attack, and still try and get a 1-1 and get into extra time and go for penalties, then really try and
I
take the game by the scruff of the neck. It just seems like a very athletic thing to do at this point. But yeah, do you see them getting past this City in the second leg?
I
They,
would
they
doubt
did they
so.
did it to Liverpool. They somehow managed to do that against Liverpool at Anfield a couple of seasons ago.
Lightning
So
doesn't strike twice at the same spot. Or maybe it does, but I've never seen it.
yeah, it promises to be probably a snooze fest in the second leg. Pep will probably be more than happy to just sit back, keep possession, maybe get a goal early on, and just see the game out. So, again, I don't see City letting up on this one. So, it's probably going to be City going through and Liverpool going through. So, that's at least two Premier League clubs that still get into the semi finals with a shot at being in the finals as well. But let's get on to the shock result, which might
Biggest
actually
shock.
make
Yeah.
it easier. Although at this point, I don't even know whether you call Villarreal an easy opposition anymore because shock defeat 1-0. And I say shock defeat because this could have easily been 3 or 4 goals. I mean, Villarreal were genuinely that good. If you have not seen the highlights, please go and watch the highlights. Bayern were neck and neck with them. There was no point where you can say Bayern was the dominant team amongst the two. They had a lot of half chances. I mean, Villarreal created the better chances. That Bayern defense was just so fragile. I mean, Manuel Neuer practically gifted a goal into the second half, which Gerard Moreno was not able to convert. It was a really shocking result. I think a lot of the Munich players will be rattled by the kind of performance that they put out there today, and Villarreal players must be immensely boosted. And, they're not even in the Champions League spots in the league, so and to think they're making such headway in the Champions League itself is just incredible. What do you see happening over at the Allianz Arena?
Bayern will go all out. I'm waiting for another Lewandowski special where he just turns up and he's like, "No, I'm going to score a hat trick in 10 minutes and just pull this team out of this."
Yeah, I
That's
mean
what he does.
that's what happened
I
against Salzburg,
I
right?
really hope it's a I really hope it's a Lewandowski versus Benzema final. I really want to see that, to be quite honest.
And yeah, very much possible. I mean, at least for Real Madrid, they sit in a very promising position. Again, we are basically glossing over Villarreal versus Bayern Munich because we do think that Bayern will be able to overturn this result in the second leg. It may not be as comfortable as that Salzburg victory, but at the Allianz Arena, there is just a different level of confidence. There is just a different
Exactly.
swagger that Bayern seem to have, and I don't see them succumbing despite this, apparent 1-0 upset. Not the way Juventus did, at least. Um, but yeah, another shocking result, and I use
I
shocking
didn't think
because
this was shocking though.
again I say shocking because I did not expect Madrid to come out guns blazing in this match. They showed a lot more respect to PSG in the first leg. And Chelsea, I believe, is with personnel, with system, on form, generally better than PSG. Like if this Chelsea team would to have met the PSG team, I think Chelsea would have gotten the better of them. But
Personal
Ancelotti just
wise,
went for
no.
it.
I don't think personal wise Chelsea are better than PSG. I think Chelsea are a better coached team than PSG. That is
I
for
mean, yeah,
sure.
but that's really what it
That's the
in the
only,
end
yeah,
kind of comes down to, right? Because if you don't have the right system, you can't. No matter how many players you have, it's just going to be a team of 11 as opposed to a
right.
team, that works together.
And then you face Karim Benzema, who's just going to smash a hat trick against you.
I know. I wonder how much of this had to do with them kind of relying on the Chelsea defeat over at Brentford. I don't know how much of that plays into strategic planning. If Chelsea were to come into this match with a win, even if not, a dominant win, maybe we see a different Real Madrid. But part of me feels like Real Madrid approached this match thinking that Chelsea were there to be had just on the back of the recent result that
Right.
that they had in the league, which again, a sign of good management. Ancelotti is really
He's
pulling
smart.
up
He's very
trees
smart.
over in Spain there, easily strolling towards another league win and a foot in the semifinals at this point. 3-1. That's two hat tricks in back to back games for Karim Benzema. I mean, incredible win. Um, do you think Chelsea have any way of coming back in this one? 3-1 is a sizable deficit. because with the away goal scrap, Chelsea now only have to score two goals to take the match into extra time. But again, two goals is hard. Like this Madrid team has shown itself to be really hard to beat. It took a
But
really accomplished, probably the best player in the world right now, Kylian Mbappe, to unlock this Madrid defense when they came up against PSG. So it is going to be hard to kind of even get two goals against Madrid at this point. Wow. So it might just be we might just be looking at a Chelsea. We might just be looking at a Real Madrid Manchester City semi-final and a Liverpool and quite
Bayern,
possibly Villarreal even. The only match that is somehow for me in the balance right now is that Bayern Villarreal game, despite what we said, because
true,
Villarreal just started walking into this competition with a different mentality. And unlike Salzburg, they also have experience in the team. So that makes a
right.
difference too. And again, in Unai Emery as a manager, lots and lots of experience in the knockout stages, not necessarily at the Champions League level, but he can show you his trophy cabinet to justify why he might feel a little bit more confident going in with a lead to
Right.
the Allianz Arena. So let's simmer down to who you think is going to be the final.
Finals, I want Madrid versus Bayern. That's what I want. I don't want the Premier League clubs.
I think this is
As
really
simple
going
as
to
that.
be a Manchester City versus Liverpool final, just because Bayern have shown themselves quite vulnerable in the defense, and that Liverpool attack will take no prisoners. You know, you make one mistake and you will
Correct.
get punished. And as for City versus potentially Madrid, I mean City I think comfortably beat Chelsea at this point in time. They're just a whole other league apart, and over two legs, they will definitely get the better of Chelsea. And even against Madrid, uh, I don't think Madrid have faced a team like City in this entire
In a while.
competition. I
Yeah.
mean, they're essentially Chelsea and PSG combined, right? A team stacked with superstars, but that play as a team. So
Right.
that's going to be tough. So I think this is going to be a City Liverpool final. Karthik thinks this is going to be a Bayern Madrid final. So one of us is going to be right, one of us is going to be wrong, and both of us can probably be wrong
Could
as
be
well.
wrong.
But yeah, that was us talking about the Champions League first legs, and yeah, we will join you guys again following the second set of fixtures. Really,
End
really
of the
juicy
second leg.
stuff.
Yeah.
Yep. Take care, guys. See ya. Oh,
Alrighty.
and as always, like, share, subscribe.
Bye
Bye.
bye.